Hey, what's up everybody? So I'm roaming the halls here on the Caribbean Princess, and I can't shake this article that I read earlier from Cruise Critic about the 8 weirdest things that people do on cruise ships. And so right now I'm on the hunt for number 1. I also have a couple of my own. So I've almost walked the full length of this corridor, and oh wait, never mind. Here is number 1 on our list. Decorating your cruise cabin door. I do not know of another vacation type where decorating the outside of your accommodations is part of the deal. A lot of people do it. A lot of people say they do it so it's easier to find their cabin in a sea of cabins that look identical. But yeah, I guess from the outside looking in, decorating your cruise cabin door could be kind of weird. The Paris Olympics are in full swing. Second weirdest thing that cruisers do, let's revisit an old adage. They say you have to crawl before you can walk, but sometimes you have to walk as you crawl. Let me explain. Straight ahead here we have the Good Spirits bar, and we could stop and have any one of these drinks, and when we finish with that drink we could move on. And we could come over to the Vines bar, which is the wine bar here on the Caribbean Princess, and we could get any one of these drinks and consume it here. And better than that, the Explorers Lounge bar. We can have a drink, relax, contemplate the day. And of course, if you do that with a bunch of people and you hit 5 bars in under an hour, most people call that a bar crawl or a pub crawl, and that's not weird. But what's weird when it comes to cruising is some people, instead of going from place to place and getting drinks, they go from cabin to cabin for some crazy reason. What we're talking about is a cabin crawl, and much like the bar crawl, you get a group of your friends and you go from cabin A to cabin B to cabin C, and you may say, well, why would you do that? Well, the interesting thing about cruise ship cabins is they're not all created equal. Some cabins don't have windows, some cabins have balconies, some cabins just have 1 room, some cabins have couches, some cabins have 2 rooms. You see what I'm saying here? There is a diversity and a difference in a bunch of different cabins on cruise ships, and sometimes you don't get to see those things in your life. And the nice thing about a cabin crawl that gets organized is that, well, you can. But is that weird? Oh, spotlight karaoke. Look at all these people that are willing to get up in front of strangers and sing. It wasn't on our list of things that are weird, but I don't know. I don't think that's weird at all. I think there's something in all of us that wants to be seen, and certainly karaoke is a vehicle to get eyes on you. I guess some people might even find it weird to have communal food in the form of a buffet, but that's certainly not weird in this culture. I think we're pretty used to buffets. But what about this? We have just your average old cruise deck swimming pool area, and while at the same time people are swimming, they're also showing a blockbuster movie on a giant screen above the pool. Does that seem weird? I don't know. One of the truly wild things about cruising is, well, when night falls, you kind of lose perspective as to where you're at. I know that I'm somewhere off the coast of the UK, maybe, but all I know is when I look out over these rails, it's just a dark abyss. Look, I talk to a lot of cruisers, and one of the questions I always ask is, what do you love most about cruising? And the answer is almost universally, I love the fact that I can get away from the stresses of my everyday life. I don't have to think about work. I don't have to think about my responsibilities at home. I can literally put a body of water between myself and my challenges and my stresses, and it's out here on the open sea that I find peace and calm and relief from those stresses in life. Now, unfortunately, you can't be on a cruise every day of your life. And so you've got to come up with other ways to deal with those stresses. And one of those ways is greatly helped by the sponsor of today's episode, BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. The process for getting connected is simple and quick. You visit the BetterHelp website. You can use my link, betterhelp.com/LaLitaLoca, and answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you with an experienced professional. The cool thing is that BetterHelp will match you with that licensed professional, usually in about 48 hours. The nice thing is you can do it all from your house. How you connect with your therapist is also very flexible. You can connect by phone, video chat, or messaging. The choice is yours. Look, no reason. Don't be overwhelmed by stress. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/LaLitaLoca or choose LaLitaLoca during your sign up and enjoy a special discount for the first month. Big thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's episode. Now, another thing that cruisers do that people find weird is kind of a variation on hide and seek. You got cruisers looking high, looking low, all in search of a special prize that I'm not finding. We are talking, of course, about the elusive cruise duck. That's right, I said cruise duck, and it comes in many forms. I've seen rubber ducks, and I've seen crochet ducks. I've even seen brick-built Lego ducks, all stashed in the nooks and the crannies of a cruise ship, and people joyously trying to track them down. I'm not sure where the cruise duck phenomena began, but it certainly doesn't show any signs of slowing. As almost every cruise, I run into people that are both gleefully hiding and finding ducks. But it does pose the question, is that weird? I don't think Jeep people will say yes, but anybody else, is that weird? Now, this next one wasn't on Cruise Critics' list of weird things that people do on a cruise, but this may be on a lot of people's list. We know that cruising is essentially an all-inclusive activity. Once you pay your price, all-inclusive in the fact that you get lodging, that you get food included, that you get entertainment. But something weird does happen on cruise ships with cruisers, and here's two great examples. This is an Italian restaurant here on the Caribbean Princess called Sabatini's. And well, like I said, you already have food that you paid for. It's included. But dig this, you can go to the main dining room and for zero extra money, you can eat a steak, or you can go to the steakhouse and pay 50 bucks for a steak. And we do it. Is that weird? I don't know. The list goes on and on. On the Cruise Critics site, they talk about collecting towel animals and wearing your bathrobe around the cruise ship. They talk about wearing matching t-shirts and joining a Facebook group so that strangers know that you're going to be on a cruise ship. And certainly, all of those activities to an outsider may seem weird, but I've got one more that I really think is the weirdest thing when it comes to cruising. The weirdest, and I mean weirdest person of all, are those people who don't cruise. Those are the real weirdos. So yeah, much love to all the cruisers out there. What do you think? What are weird things that cruisers do? Did you enjoy the presentation? Please hit the like button, consider subscribing. Make sure you check out that BetterHelp link. And yeah, it's Tony for LaLitaLoca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.